Hi, welcome to part 3.
Okay, that gentleman, I worked with him for quite a little while at Symphony Place. Then I moved down to close to between Radio City Hall and Carnegie Hall. He was living between there. Nice area to work in. So he was kind enough to buy that for me, and I pay him back as the week went. It was the most expensive thing I bought. If I misspoke and said it wasn't, but thinking that I had to buy printers. I had to buy scanners. I have to buy shredders. I have to buy paper. I was not the type of writer that to just once I got to America, it took on a different ball game. My other boss down the street, I was working three, four people at a time. You know, you're a hustler when you're an immigrant, right? Okay, I'm doing masseuse, I'm cleaning, I'm doing everything. My other boss, she gave me a Smith Corona, and I take off everything that was done that I had sent to Canada, and I put it on Smith Corona. Big mistake. Beautiful machine to work with, Smith Corona word processor, beautiful to work with. But when you have to take that off and put it on Macintosh will take it, but it will not be able to read it out for you if you can't convert it. That was Mac back then with the 500 series. It have to be able to understand it. And then, of course, it was a state of the art. You know, it have speech, it have everything, but it have to understand what you have there to convert it from Smith Corona word processor. So yes, I spend money. I do not think that Author House know what it is to write a book or biography for years. Maybe somebody in pop, or maybe I don't know. But a person that went through the tunnel like I did, I don't think they understand people like me. I don't think so at all. And they are criminals.
The lawyer that made the will for this book, my book squatter, he told me not to spend the 60 cents all in one place. I intend to drop a cent in every state in the United States and in the Caribbean too, but I'm going to start in the Caribbean first.
I am doing this video for a few reasons, and one of them is so that people will not buy this book. Not because I am doing this video. I don't want people to buy this book because this book is a slave. This book, my book squatter, is a slave. Please do not buy it. This video is not for you to go out and buy this book. For me, it's for you not. I don't care about any sales on this book. Please don't buy this book. It is a slave, and I mean it's a slave. The 25,000 book publishers or distributors, as Author House called them, turned out to be the pyramid of hell for me. It's like you know when you get a bad susu chore in Trinidad, something like that, but not as bad. At least there sometimes you get back your money. These are worse. The worst pyramid. 25,000 book publishers that selling and they don't keep track of what they're selling. Never heard of it. Nuts.
Well, it's clear after my foundation here. The foundation is the lump sum that they sent me in 2005. I could be able. That's my guideline because I never received anything since. No other quarter report, but this one. So this is showing me. This guided me to whatever sent because nothing ever come in between. So everything that was packed and came back that I have now, what was removed, lifted, and changed came from the Attorney General office, and there was a whole bunch of them. So I could say yes, they contaminated and they did go shotgun. Well, I've always been ready. I try to be ready for the best or the worst. It's just my nature. And but I'm wondering too. I say they are not ready. If they were ready, they would not subscribe my website and keep putting in all my quarterly reports this rocket ebook, this rocket ebook, this rocket ebook all over the place, and I don't own a rocket ebook. So I'm wondering, it made me wonder about the rocket that blew up in the sky in the 80s. Because where does this rocket ebook show up on mine? Because I wrote something, so it made me wonder about that a lot lately. Because obviously you're dealing with desperate criminals behind the scene. I don't know how other people see it, but this is the way I see it. This is what I have in my hands on my quarterly report, a rocket ebook. So yes, it made me wonder about the rocket that I looked at on CNN that blew up. It really does. It's a serious thing. Special interest drove nails in me. But I'm here today to report this to my people, to the world, and to believers. I am ready. I've always been ready, but obviously they are not ready, as they would not have scrubbed my webpage and then send little insinuendos and this and that and that and that and trying to pressurize me always, like having me locked up in a room with 5 people. All the other applicants are outside waiting, and I alone in there with 5 people. What's that about? For a room, to join a room with dope addicts? And the Almighty Living God bless me so much, because my father always respect policemen, you see. They always, in New York, policemen give him a bad drive, But I have to say they help me. Say what they want, who have problems with them, that's their business. They help me. They always looked in and helped me as a homeless woman. And traditionally, I researched policemen in New York, and traditionally, through the old days in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, policemen always in New York, forget New Jersey, always help homeless people. But that's not the point what I'm trying to say. What happened when I got into that, just before the interview, as I walked in, a policeman is rescuing a drug addict by the elevator, and she's carrying on. Then, I'm waiting for the interview, and I go on into the interview, and they go on and locked up with these 5 people who's questioning me. All the other applicants are outside, and then come the earthquake, and nobody in the room feel it. I did not, and I heard others saying when they came out, and I rushed out. They didn't feel it. So yes, God has been on my side, and he marked the date and he marked the spot. Well, I haven't gone back to Trinidad since 1987. I haven't put my foot out. Yes, I became a citizen, but I don't say that I don't love my country and I don't like traveling, and I like to get down and dirty for carnival too. But I am tied up here mainly because of my book, and no clarity on that. That's really the problem with me. And the problem that I'm having right now is trying to explain and close this, because today is September 10, 2018, and I'm still sitting down here. It's about 7:30 in Buffalo, New York. So I'm fighting to make this. This is the first video I'm going to make. I know about standard cameras, so I'm trying this video because for me it's advantage. Now, as I state and I showed just now, that all my quarterly report that was sent in the bulk, each one have this e-rocket on it. Now, and I also said that I wrote my equation, which Washington sent back to me in 1999, long before the Harvard boys have their case and trial about who discovered Facebook. Mine was the first Facebook. I invited the world because I had this, I wrote this divine order about the men that get hung in Trinidad. I'm not getting into that because that will please a lot of the special interest people. However, my site was scrubbed before the Harvard boys appeared on the scene with a fantastic court suit that became a movie. However, all of my quarterly report that came in 2005 have a Rocket ebook. I never wrote a Rocket ebook. So in other words, special interest people is taunting me on about this subject in many ways that I wouldn't get into. So this show up. You go to the Attorney General office. They see this protruding fact. She doesn't have a book called, nobody asked the question, does she have a book called Rocket Book? The IRS don't question that. And the yearly report of her sales. In other words, if one Trinidadian say to me or an American say to me, hey Leah, how many books did you sell out of your book? I can't say, I don't know. They also, the Attorney General office never asked who sold your book. All these little things, but you have a rebuttal, okay? The IRS never asked who sold your book. You have 25,000. So this is what I have to deal with. Meanwhile, I can't go home and enjoy a carnival. I can't do this because I have this obstacle over my head. So I'm saying to Order House, loud and clear, I can't tie it up anyway. This is my rebuttal. You have too many mistakes. You cannot give me a fiscal, a quarterly report. You can't tell me who sold my book. You can't tell me how many books I sell. You can't tell me anything, but you protrude in a Rocket book that I don't even have on my quarterly report, but you cannot make a proper statement, proper quarterly or fiscal statement or any kind of a statement. But from the time I start asking about quarterly report, you throw Easyriders, Ingram, this one, Yahoo, everybody on me. This is what happened. I did not create this. Order House created this. Special interest or no special interest, Order House create this mess with my property. This is the facts. Even if you take out special interest, this is the facts. You cannot tell me who sold my books. You cannot tell me how many books I sold. Okay? You also add something to my quarterly report that I don't own. So then you're terrorizing me. All right? In fact, I have a right and all right to say you are American terrorists because you are American. You in Indiana, in the middle of America. Why are you terrorizing me about a subject I wrote about? These are the facts. I didn't make up this story. These are the facts that went to the Attorney General office. So I want my money back. Every black penny. I labor for it. Thank you. This here is my navigator. The bulk that was sent. Ebook. I don't own an ebook. Rocket ebook. I do not. Every page I turn here will have Rocket ebook on it. I call them American terrorists. Rocket ebook. 9 to 10. This is my guideline. This is the foundation from the bulk that was on Rocket ebook. I do not own a Rocket ebook. So what? You're terrorizing me? Well, I want my money back, and charges should be made to these people. Yeah, I really expected, and I think of it automatically. Just thought I would go along with the web page that first put my ebook on, but so when Order House turned the switch and put the Easyriders on my back, what could I do? You know what I mean? To be or not to be, you go along with what you have right now. So they are forever turning the switch, and money on demand is not print on demand, it's money on demand. One of the things that I'm going to show next before I go is that I want to just brief on that the 14th of September, everything that came back from the Attorney General office that they tried to match up was highlighted with the 14th of September 2015. No, and if you look closely at the email that I got saying that they couldn't find my contract, that my contract was a blank, and they couldn't find that, that came on the 10th of the 12th month, 2015. That came before I contacted the Attorney General Office or the IRS. So it's strange to me that the papers that they snuck in, that they put between my file and posted back to me, the majority of them had that yellow highlight that said the 14th of September 2015, and my procedure hadn't started yet. So it looked like if they were trying to match things up and couldn't. You will also see that in the fourth quarter of 2014, that where that 8 books show up, it never came in the basement between 1 and 10 pages. What's 10 pages was easy to go each quarter, each year as it came, and that's the way I filed it and put it away. I put them away while I was waiting for housing. My housing application was in from 2005, the time I came back to Manhattan from Massachusetts. So I was delayed and put into all kind of cuckoo shit that, eventually got me into the car, but it was put away in my storage. All my Yankee memorabilia, all my Giants, everything was packed in my storage from 2010, 2013. 2010 I became homeless. So my stuff was put away. But anyway, getting back, I don't know why everything that said September 14, 2015 is highlighted coming from the Attorney General Office. And also, those 8 books, I never received them, never seen them in the basement.